My sister and I got tested together in 1986. We went to the Department of Health because we heard about this thing going out that was called AIDS. We had a few friends that had died from AIDS. And I was like, I'm not, the hell is that? That's just a common cold. That's how I looked at it and then I looked at it. Well, ain't nobody getting it, but people that was that were gay or lesbians. Those are the only people that were getting it. I'm not gay or lesbian, so it wasn't me. Well, we know now that's not the issue. I know now that wasn't the issue. During that time, I was a nurse. I was married, had a life, had insurance, a house, everything. Everything. Married couple with one children, and I also was using drugs during that time. I started using drugs. I would say I had my daughter in 81, 82. Yeah, I started using drugs in 82 after I got married. It was just a sniff here, sniff there, going out, sniffing cocaine. But no, heroin was my drug of choice, not cocaine. Heroin was the drug of choice. And, you know, my husband and I started doing it together, which was two people doing this together doesn't going to work. It was a bad omen. And he was cheating on me the whole time, actually. But I had no idea. I was naive to the fact that this man was cheating on me. When I got pregnant with Leslie, and when I went to the hospital, then they introduced me to the AZT. That was in 1987. But I was afraid of taking that AZT. You know, it was so much stuff going on. Quite a few of my friends that were gay, a few of my friends were still dying, and that was taking the AZT. So no, I did not take it. During that time, Leslie got sick. She couldn't hold any milk down. She couldn't hold anything down, and I had to take her to the hospital. And I didn't know if that had anything to do with me being HIV positive or any of those things. And I got scared. I ran away. I told my mother, you have to take care of my daughter. I had 3 daughters during that time. And my mother did. Thank God for her. I said, because I don't know what to do. I went to treatment. I had never heard of a drug facility. And like I said, heroin was my drug of choice. Samaritan Village, I went up in Bronx. And I went there and I did, I think, 18 months. But all during that time, I would take my daughter back and forth to the hospital. Every month they had to do blood work on my baby just to see if anything changed. Because they had told back then, when you had a baby, they have their mother's immunity system. So in my mind, I'm thinking my daughter, Leslie, has HIV. But every month for 18 months, it was negative. I know now that my T cell counts made a difference. And I know also now when my viral loads made a difference. Back in 1987, they didn't know if your viral loads or why your babies didn't get it, you know. They didn't know anything, and neither did I. When she turned 18 months old, I left treatment. I got my kids back. We was all happy, got all my children. When I had to take my time out to tell my mom that I was HIV positive, I was in a drug abuse facility. And I had the social workers there, social worker guidance. They all sat down with my mom and my dad and expressed to them what it was like and that they couldn't catch it. But you're talking to 2 seniors at the time. And they didn't take that. All they know is they saw and they heard, they seen some of our friends dying. They didn't know. Well, my mom, she had me to eat off of plates, paper forks. And if I ate out of her plates or her forks, She was always have that Clorox in the water. And y'all know about putting that Clorox kill the germs. Everybody say Clorox kill everything. And that's what my mom did. She tried to hide the fact that she didn't, but I saw it all the time. I felt it. That was hurtful because that was my mom. Mothers aren't supposed to reject or feel that way towards their child. Eventually, my mom came around. Eventually, when it came to my mom, I think my dad was okay for a long time. They took my daughter, all four of my girls from me, November 1990. They took my kids. And then I went on a drug rampage. I went on a drug rampage until January of 1991. I stood in front of the judge. The judge said to me, all you gotta do is do the work. If you do the things that you're supposed to do, you have all your children back. That's when I decided to live. That's when I decided to take upon responsibility for my children. And not health-wise. I still wasn't there with my health. All I knew is I had to have my children back into my wings, taking my children to the doctor, making sure they were good. And I did everything when it came to, they called my children, NA meetings called my children the NA babies, because every meeting they were with me. Every meeting. I went to the meetings. I went to get classes to become a drug abuse counselor. From a drug abuse counselor, I became an HIV counselor. So that's what I did. And I've been fighting, advocating ever since 1990. 1990. In 2007, when I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, I decided to take the medication. I went on medication only because my dad, just before my dad died, maybe a few months before, my father said, it's time for you to go to take that medication that you have out that they're saying it's going to make you live longer. Because I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be here to support you anymore. I'm not going to be your backbone, girl. And when he died, it took a lot out of me. My kids was grown. I was like, what I'm still here for? I'm coming, Daddy. I'm right behind you. But my kids was my strength. My children have always been my strength. And I went to Grady Hospital. And I met this young lady. She was an HIV advocate. And she started telling me about the IDP clinic where she worked at. And that my T-cell counts was below 250, which means I would have to come to that particular clinic and she explained all this. No one ever explained any of this stuff to me, or I just didn't understand until 2007. Now listen to this. This is 2007. I've been positive since 1986. That's a whole 20 years down the line. I didn't understand this until that one woman explained it to me and broke it down. She says, because you got AIDS, you're no longer HIV positive. And I said, well, if I got AIDS, I'm going to die soon. She says, people don't die anymore. You take this medicine, start taking this medicine, I guarantee you're going to live, girl. She said, you don't live 20 years, it's about 20 years already. I says, really? All my kids graduate from high school. And my goal in my life was to watch each one of my girls graduate high school. And that goal came. I said, so what shoot, they all graduated from high school. What I need to be here for anymore? She said, because they're going to eventually, you're going to have grandkids. I started becoming open in my life about being HIV positive in 2007. 2007, I didn't care who knew. I found what my purpose in life was. My purpose in life was to share, to help, to love. Doing different parts with anything that had to do with people who are HIV positive. I got connected with Sister Love. I gotta say, I love Sister Love. Sister Love is an organization that wasn't the first organization that I stepped into, but it was my finest organization that I stepped into. Sister Love lifted me up. That gave me that strength to know that me being HIV positive, sorry, me being HIV positive was no longer fearful in my life. I wasn't afraid anymore. I was not afraid. I became a warrior.